Welcome to the annual YEA podcast on the TME network. Today's podcast is sponsored by Little Debbie's Cupcakes. Keep on munchin'. Today's topic, the 1972 Miami Dolphins and their impact on the NFL. With that, I'd like to welcome our panel. Pierce Beck, who is an expert at dropping the bass. David Pedron, an expert at crossing off states. And Jake Carvajal, who is an expert at being difficult to debate with.
No, I'm not.
With that, let's start. Dave, what would you like to talk about first?
Well, I mean, this is all about the 1972 Miami Dolphins and their impact on the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
But what if I told you that the impact that the Miami Dolphins had in the NFL isn't even really that much of an impact at all? I mean, look at the statistics. They were undefeated and won the Super Bowl. The only team to ever do that. I give them complete respect for that. You know, I'm not here to take that away from them. But I'm just saying it's not as great as everyone says it is. It was a 14-game season as opposed to now where we play 16 games.
In the regular season.
You know, those 2 extra games, it's only 2 extra games, but a lot can happen there. You know, you have that mental effect of the traveling, the mental preparation for each game, the physical impact on the bodies of 2 more hard-hitting quarters. I mean, the pads back then aren't what they were today. Mm-hmm. You got beat up pretty bad back then. So, I mean, they played 2 more games, there's just a lot of things that could have gone wrong in those 2 other games that might have ruined that perfect season.
I would like to interject. I want to talk about the 2007 Patriots. They were the team that come closest to the Dolphins record. They went 16-0 in the regular season, but they lost the Super Bowl. Now, if you ask me, I believe that what the team does in the postseason is more important than what the team does in the season.
Okay. So hold on. So what you're saying is that if a team, but you're valuing postseason success more so than the regular season. So then what does it matter if they went undefeated in the regular season? I mean, every team that won a Super Bowl is undefeated in the postseason. So if you're going to base a team's success based on their postseason rather than a regular season, I mean, why don't you claim the Giants to be the best team? The 2007 Giants went 9-7, made the playoffs, and went through undefeated
because
in the playoffs.
The difference is they have both. You can't have a team that's 0-10 and claim that they're as competitive as a team that went 10-0. You know what I mean?
They could be as competitive. They just really close games.
Yeah.
I disagree with that completely. That's why you have multiple games. That's why there's not just one game. If there was only one game, then you could say, oh, well, maybe it was this, maybe it was that. The reason you have a 16-game season or a 14-game season is to say, okay, maybe they had a bad week. Maybe the one team was really good. But overall, this team is better than this team.
Okay, well, hold on.
To add to that, the Dolphins had a great rushing attack, manned by Larry Zonka and Mercury Morris in the backfield. I remember, if I'm correct, I think Larry Zonka had a 1,500 or 2,000 yard season.
That's correct.
That's correct. And Morris had 1,000 yard, 2,000 yard. I'm not sure.
Sounds good.
But they had they were a dominant rushing team, and they barely threw the ball at all. So it was more on the rushing attack than anything. And to put up a 2,000 yard, to have a running back with a 2,000 yard season it's very good. I mean, the Dolphins were, in a sense, shutting teams out on defense as well. So the rushing attack, they were just wearing defenses down with the rushing attack.
And that's a very good point, Dave. But to go, my mind is still wrapped around what Jake said because I have no idea how he could even justify what he just said. You have Jake. You say, you're going to base them off. You went from saying you base them in the postseason. Now you're going to say, look at each team. You're not going to say 0-10 teams just as competitive as a 10-0 team. What I'm going to do is this: we're going to go back to your 07 Patriots, for example. Let's compare them to the 72 Dolphins. Who you could pick an all-star team of any players in the history of the league and make one all-star team. Who do you want a quarterback? Bob Grease or Tom Brady?
I want to make this interjection. The 72 Dolphins, would go on to have 2 Hall of Fame offensive linemen. Now the
They
defense,
have actually 6 Hall of Famers altogether. 6
but
Hall of
2
Famers from.
Well,
Okay,
point
okay. Well,
that I
the
make.
07
team.
Patriots, there's not enough time for them to be in the Hall of Fame. You got to figure out. Look at all the Hall of Famers they have. Tom Brady, Randy Moss. I mean, that's just to name 2 of them. I mean, you know.
Oh, and they have Don Shula, who's probably the 7th total from that team.
Okay, who do you want as head coach? Don Shula or
I'm taking Don Shula.
Bill Belichick?
I'm taking Don Shula. Bill Belichick now, but Don Shula back then. Because didn't Bill
It is
Belichick?
Who did win the game though? Dolphins won, right?
How many
Dolphins
Super Bowls
won.
does Don Shula have?
2.
Bill
Who's
Belichick
the only
has 4.
undefeated
How
coach?
many were cheating though?
Nothing was ever proven
Who's the only undefeated coach?
in a 14-game regular season.
Plus,
You could
That
say,
won
all
the
right,
Super
all right,
Bowl.
hold on. You
That
could
won
say
the Super Bowl.
Don Shula won 17-0. Bill Belichick won 17-0 too a year.
you can say that. But did Bill
I know you
Belichick
can say
win-
that, that's why I'm saying it.
Well, did Bill Belichick
But
also
there's
win
no
that
ring.
Super Bowl?
If
There's
there's
no
no
ring
ring-
to come
Okay,
with that.
he was literally one controversial catch away from winning that Super Bowl. That's what I'm saying.
So we can count controversies when it benefits you, but we can't count the controversies
Okay,
when,
what
when it's
controversy?
against you.
What controversy is against us? What controversy
Deflategate.
do you want to count?
The Super Bowl.
Okay, we're not even talking about Deflategate right now.
All right, we'll be back after this break.
Anytime we
In '71, when they lost the Super Bowl, what happened was when they started training camp. When they started training camp, Shula wanted the team to know how much it hurt to walk away without a championship, and use that as a springboard for the season, and made them practice 10 times harder because of it. And every day they would watch the Super Bowl loss.
Okay, so what? Don Shula is God's gift to coaching now because he used the loss to motivate his team?
Yes.
Because no coach in the history has ever done that before.
I think the point that he's trying to make is that a good coach can really bring the team together.
Yeah, a good
Yeah,
coach.
that's-
You can take a mediocre
listen,
team.
I'm not saying Don Shula's not a good coach. All right, I would put Don Shula up in the top 3 of all time.
He does have 357 wins.
Like I said, I would put him in the top 3 of all time.
I think he is the top 3 of all time. Anyways,
He is in the top 3 of all time.
yeah.
Like, I'm not talking about record-wise. I'm talking about in terms of as a coach, all the aspects of being a coach. I'm putting him in my top 3. I'm just saying I'm not putting him over something like Vince Lombardi
There you
or
go. Okay.
Bill Belichick. I mean,
So we're talking about the importance of the 72
Yes,
Dolphins, right?
the impact on the NFL. It doesn't have to be good or bad. It's just an impact.
All right. Well, here's what I'm thinking. Every team since then has been trying to do the undefeated season, right?
Yes. The Carolina Panthers were
Okay,
the last
okay,
ones to
hold-
come kind of close. They
okay.
went.
Well, first of all,
let me say
nobody.
15-1.
Okay, you don't need if the 72 Dolphins didn't exist, you would still have teams going for the undefeated season. The goal at the beginning of the year is to win every game you play.
Yes,
This is something where teams
it's
right
only
now
happened.
could be compared to the 72 Dolphins.
Yes.
That's something they want to...
I'm saying that it's just you can't compare the league now to what the league was back then. It's a different league. It's just like people trying to say that LeBron James isn't even comparable to Michael Jordan. The league was a different thing
Yeah,
back then.
the
That
league-
is what I'm trying to say.
The league is different now than it was then because of the things that happened in that time. The things that the Dolphins did at that time changed it to how it is now.
No, they
The
did
reason
not.
that people
What
wanna-
did- what
the
did the
people that
Dolphins
people are
do?
emulating
What did
the
the Dolphins do
Dolphins is
that was
because they
so
want to be like-
ingenuitive that changed the landscape of the league? What did they do?
Undefeated season to win the Super Bowl.
So that changed the entire style of the NFL.
Yeah. Because when you're that good, you got to create competition.
Okay.
I don't even know what to say to you right now.
Okay,
To go off of
every
that-
other team in the division didn't even have a positive record in that year.
Okay, well that just
That
goes to show you the
shows-
quality of their division.
No, that shows the quality of the team.
Okay, no, because you play your
Okay,
division
hang on.
teams twice.
So-
you play your division teams twice. So that's 2 losses then for everybody else.